You're listening to the M2 Archery Show. I'm Marco.
I'm Nat.
And Matt is hunting bear in Ireland.
I don't think he's hunting.
Well, I've seen that. I
think what he's doing is he hunted a lot.
So he's making up for it?
He's making up for it. His wife and his brother's wife wanted to go on a vacation. I believe they're over in Ireland. Ireland,
yes. They're going to go hunt bears in Ireland.
The luck of the Irish.
Yeah, Lucky Charms. He's going to come back with like green clovers and purple horseshoes. And
blue diamonds. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I don't know. I saw that Disney one with the girl with the red hair.
Brave.
Yeah, they have some big bears according to the cartoon.
All right. Yeah. And they turn into people.
You shot a big bear.
Well, I shot a good bear. I wouldn't say it was big.
The picture looked big.
Well, he felt big going up that straight up mountain that we had to pack him out of.
Well, I like how you did that where you stood 10 feet behind him.
Yeah.
In the photo.
And watch my boys.
Yeah.
Oh, in the photo.
Yeah, you long arm it like when people take pictures of them with fish. They're like...
Yeah, he's probably a 180-pound bear.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not a little bear, but not a big one either.
Enough that it'd ruin your weekend if it got after you.
Yeah, he had a real fluffy coat, and it was pretty cool to take a bear. It was the first bear I've ever got. I've never hunted bears, really. I've always kind of had a tag in my pocket, you know.
Well, if you're elk hunting, you want to have a tag in your pocket.
Right, but around here, I've never come to the place where I'm like, you know, I'm going to spend my day looking for bears.
Right.
You know, every now and then I've run across them, but they're usually running or they smell you or something. You know, I've never really had an opportunity, a good shot before. Now, in this case, we, of course, were elk hunting, had bulls bugling. It was getting close to evening dark, you know, an hour and a half before dark, and a bull was bugling in the canyon below me. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to just, you know how these ridges, they'll have the hogs back.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm going to walk down that. Well, it was steep. And I'm just going to see how close, maybe I can see that bull that's bugling down in the bottom there, you know, but I don't really feel like chasing him down in the bottom because, I mean, it's an hour till dark and he was down there, you know. So I walk down this hog's back and I look down over I get to the steep part and I look down over and I'm like, what's that? Look, I'm like, those are eyes. I'm like, oh, that's a bear. And so I pull back and of course I do the bend at the waist and, you know, and my son's like, what's he going to shoot? Cause he was just like 3 feet behind me and he kind of sneaks up behind me and looks over my shoulder and goes, oh, it's a bear. And man, I hit that thing right by the collarbone, but it was so steep. It came out his backside by his rear leg.
Oh, nice.
And he literally...
Like a full pass-through?
And the arrow came all the way out.
Nice.
Like, we found the arrow in the dirt, which is kind of amazing because it was so steep. There was like a dirt bank behind him, and we found the arrow buried 6 inches in that dirt bank after it completely passed the length of him.
And that was a 65-yard shot, right?
No, 40.
Oh, 40.
40 yards.
But still... That's a good testimony to those arrows, those speed pros, because those are light.
Yeah, I'm shooting a light arrow. People are like, you don't get penetration. I'm like, no, yes, I do.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I do.
At 368 feet a second.
Yep.
And we talked about the kinetic energy on
because you're trading the side of the formula. You know, now you got more speed instead of weight. So it went through him. He did a jump. He goes and then he ran. He basically kind of rolled down the hill. He would only got about 20 yards if it was flat, but I think he went about 80. You know, and in 30 seconds he was dead.
Oh, nice.
He did a couple wheezes and then just silence, and we walked right down there, and he's laying there dead.
Nice. You poke him with a stick or something?
Well, I let the boys. Yeah. I'm like, I'm coming, guys. You go ahead and check him.
He's clearly dead. Go check him.
Yeah, go ahead and go check.
If you hear screaming and growling, you know he's still alive.
They both had their pistols out. We're walking out by him, you know.
Well, was that after your brother had the mountain lion chase him?
Yeah, we haven't talked about that.
Just now.
Yeah.
Was it after that?
I don't remember now.
Because it was...
it was after that.
Yeah, so I guarantee they had their pistols.
Yeah, no, it was that. So another funny story. So this, again, is the adventures of Nat in the Winnaha. Had my brothers with me, and we had we'd kind of taken a lazy evening. And I want to say that I didn't have one hunt I was not in elk. Like there was a couple times I was like, well, I don't feel like hiking, and we went to the canyon and we found elk, heard them bugle, could see them, but like I'm not going down there tonight, you know. But at least we were in them, you know.
Right.
So anyway, we get down and it's almost dark, and my brother Seth, I'm with Pete, I'm riding with my brother Pete, and Seth's like, he took off before us. And Pete and I are driving up, and he's frantically like digging through his car. I'm like, what in the world's going on? You know, well, the story goes, he pulled over at a road on the other side of the canyon, and decided to just run out there and bugle to see. We're just locating elk for the morning hunt, right? And so all he grabs is his bugle. That's it. Doesn't have his pistol on him. He has a pistol. It's in the car.
And I don't know how many times I tell you guys, like, if you have a firearm with you, a handgun, take it with you anytime you get out of your vehicle.
Yeah, and he didn't. And this is one of the more interesting stories I've ever heard. He actually walked about 150 yards down this little dirt road, and he pulls out his bugle and he bugles, right? And so he's sitting there listening for a minute, and he's like, oh, I got to take a leak. And so,
famous last words.
He tucks his bugle tube under his arm, starts doing, his business, and he hears something snap to his right, and he looks off, and right about 50 yards in front of him, a cougar walks off the bank. And not just walks off the bank, hits the road, stares at him, and starts walking right at him. Now, I remind you the part of the story where he's still midstream.
So what do? Do you stop? You just you just hold your hand up. You're like,
give me a second.
Hang on.
Give me a second.
You're giving him the one finger. You're just like, hang on.
Would you hold on? No, I'm telling you, he was panicked, man, because he's like, I could not stop. He's like, I've never tried so hard to stop peeing.
I think I would have been able to.
Oh my gosh. And he's backing up, and I don't know if this while he's still peeing, he bends down, picks up a rock, throws it at it.
It sounds like a mess.
Cougar's still coming. He goes, his eyes were just focused on me.
Was it laughing?
And he's backing up. Finally, he's like, I don't want to turn and run. He gets done, right? I think he buttons his pants. He's like, I don't want to run because I'm going to trigger it. It already looks like it wants to eat me, And so he finally he's still staying like 40 to 50 yards away from it, but he's backing up and it's walking towards him. He finally gets to a bush, and he kind of steps behind it where it can't see him, and he just turns and sprints.
Yeah, and it can't hear him running at all.
No, not at all.
Everybody knows. See, that's a common misconception. People think that mountain lions can hear. Yeah. They can't hear you running.
Yeah, no. But this is the point where I saw him, because I see him just getting back to his truck.
Just covered in pee.
Frantically looking for his pistol.
Yeah.
So I jumped out, went with him, and we went back. I'm like, well, if he's that brazen, maybe we'll find him and shoot him. He disappeared somewhere.
Yeah. But laughing off the sides. Like,
he's like, did you see what I did to that, Hunter?
He's like,
he peed all over his shoes.
Every time. It's like, I love doing that.
Oh, my word. But Seth was like panicked. And then I guarantee you, every time he walked out in the woods after that, he had his pistol with him.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
I always have mine with me.
Pete doesn't carry one.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. I've run into a lot of guys that don't.
And even on this trip, he's not carrying a bow either.
Oh, so he's got nothing, just a stick.
And he'll go out camp, sleep in his hammock. He don't got no weapon. He don't care.
Yeah, guys do that all the time till
it doesn't work.
Until it doesn't work right.
Yeah.
I just read the Outdoor Life story where the guy's on Kodiak Island. Dude just got mauled and half eaten by a bear.
Well, I mean, it's not completely safe out there.
Oh, no, not at all.
I mean, there's a lot of things out there that could take your life.
Well, I don't know if I told the story. I was listening to the podcast. I don't know if I heard it, but the guy I met out there swore it was a Sasquatch.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah. And he was ready to gun it down.
He probably was giving good advice, because I've seen Sasquatch on Facebook a lot lately.
That dude looks pretty legit.
He's always giving advice.
Sasquatch, in this case, turned out to be an elk.
It was just, that's right. You were telling me about that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
The guy thought he was in Sasquatch, and
this bull was wacky, man. He'd hear you walking, he'd scream, and he'd run up the road to look at you. But he'd only do it at night. So it was a little freaky.
So in the dark, yeah, I had a bull in my area that was a little bit scary in the dark. He sounded like a cross between a cow and a Scooby-Doo ghost.
Okay, that is scary.
I will tell you later about it. We got to take a break.
We'll be right back.
Don't go away. We got lots of good stories coming back.
And we're back. You're listening to the M2 Archery Show. Find us on Facebook at M2 Archery Show.
Find us on Instagram at M2 Archery Show.
Or email us at m2archeryshow@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Or you can listen to Nat talking about the Scooby-Doo.
The Scary Bowl. Actually,
Bowl.
It's funny because I met this Indian guy. He was from the Umatilla tribe. And him and his girlfriend were like, have you heard the Cow Bowl yet? I'm like, yeah. I shot at him yesterday.
The Cowboy Bowl?
The Cow Bowl.
Oh, Cow Bowl.
They call him the Cow Bowl because he sounds like a cow. And they go, I think a lot of people wouldn't even think it was an elk if they didn't know better. I said, yeah, actually, the first time I heard him, I'm like, and then he chuckled. He goes, and then he goes, like, and then he goes, and I have it on, I'll put it up somewhere once I find it, but I've got a video of him bugling, and it's pretty interesting sounding. So,
dude, I saw a legit cowboy when I was out hunting.
A cowboy?
Yeah, like.
This was a cow bowl.
No, this was a cowboy, though. He had like a horse trailer off one of the main roads. Mm-hmm. And the dude was like cowboy hat. He was like what's the Sam Elliott?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of had that look to him, all bow-legged.
Oh, yeah.
And this is no joke. This is how I knew he was legit. He had a can of like beans and one of those old school can openers.
And he was just eating them right out of the can.
And he's like sitting right on leaning against the front of his truck, opening this can. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, yeah, is anything wrong with your truck? And he's like, oh, no, I'm just going to grab myself a bite to eat and then I'm going to ride some horses. And I was like, dude, you're legit.
Yeah. Remember City Slickers?
Oh, yeah.
It's probably like that guy, right? The guy that had the leathery face.
That was the one with like Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal, yeah. And they go out trying to be cowboys.
Yeah, I've run into some City Slickers.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be cowboys, but.
Remember those ones we ran into?
Oh, yeah.
The guys from Portland?
Oh, yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. Were they wearing Sitka? I can't remember.
I think they had Sitka on, yeah. Matt.
Yeah. So, anyways, the Scooby-Doo Bowl.
Well, so I actually missed him. I hate to admit it, but we got to back up the story a bit.
Okay.
So the bear, right?
Right.
When I shot the bear, I went down this really steep hill to get it. I mean, really steep, hard to walk. Like literally was grabbing bushes to let myself down. Sliding. I've got the bow with me. We're messing with the bear. We gut it. Well, when I say we, I mean my boys. I made them do it. I'm like, I can't get bear blood on me. I got to hunt elk in the morning.
Like, come on. And you just had your fingers manicured too. So you don't want to mess that up.
I'm like, I can't do that. So I pulled them out plastic gloves out of my bag they could wear. So
really? You carry the plastic gloves?
I put some in my bag like 10 years ago. I've never used them.
You go to put them on, they fall apart.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, so I was sitting there and we were dealing with it, taking pictures, doing all the things. I moved my bow and all of a sudden my sight just slides out.
Oh, that's right. I got that phone call.
Yeah, I called you panicked, right? And this was a few days later, right? But so those black gold sights, they've got the wheel that you can untighten and you can slide your sight out. Well, before season, I had never even thought about that because I've shot a fixed one so long that, I never take off.
Right.
So I didn't mark the spot, right? So you think, well, you slide it back in, the pins are still in the same place. Problem is, if the distance between the peep and your pins changes,
right, if it's forward or back,
your sights change.
Yep.
I found that out the hard way, unfortunately. And so that was on a Friday, and then Sunday night, I'm like, okay, I think I'm going home for good on Tuesday. And so, because I had drove over there with my sons, they went home with the bear. I was with my brother. And my brother had to leave on Tuesday. And so I'm like, well, I'm just going to shoot a bull, right? So I went up into this one area and I called this 6-point down. It whirled. I kind of tried to range it, but I couldn't get my rangefinder to work. And anyways, I put my sight on it and my arrow falls like 20 yards in front, not in front of it, but short.
Right.
And I'm like, what? And so I kind of, right before dark, I got back to the road. He ran up in the trees, was still bugling and stuff. I'm like, what happened? So I'm like, I'm going to shoot my bow and see. I shot into this dirt bank with a bush. I stepped back to 50 yards. I shot and I hit the bush right in the middle. And I'm like, it was a little thing on the bank. And I'm like, oh, must be okay, I guess. I don't know. Well, then later I went back and found my arrow because it was almost dark then. It wasn't the bush. I was aiming at the wrong bush.
Oh,
so it was off.
It was off by 20.
But I thought I was on, so anyway, so I missed that one. Next morning, we go to this new area. Well, it wasn't new. I had set up camp there a week before, but we'd been hunting on the east side, and that camp was on the west. So we go back to the west side, and I get up that morning, all night long, bulls bugling around camp. I'm like, oh, perfect.
Awesome.
There's elk, and it was that way the night we set that tent up, actually. Bulls bugling everywhere. So anyway, I get up that morning and I kind of head off to the right, and I'm like, oh, I heard him bugling over there. I walk into this clearing, it's barely light. I'm like, oh, there's a bull and 2 cows, and they run down the hill. And so I kind of follow down in there, and next thing you know, there's bulls like bugling all over, right? And then I hear the cow bull. Okay, and he lets out this, I don't even do it good. I'll have to find the video where I have it recorded, but he's like,
that's the Scooby-Doo bull.
Yeah, the Scooby cow. And anyway, so I'm like, oh, I'm going after that one. That one sounds old and big,
Right.
And so I did. I went and I just he kept bugling, and I kept getting closer and closer and closer. And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm pretty close. And all of a sudden I see movement to my left. I hit this little road. There's all these weird roads. They just kind of disappear and show up.
Right.
They're like roads that were built 70 years ago.
Cut in and then just,
or they're overgrown. And yeah, anyway, so I hit this road and I'm walking up it, and I'm like, something off to my left, and I look off, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a bull right there. Well, it wasn't the cow bull. It was one that was hanging nearby him, and it was a spike by 6.
Oh, nice.
And I'd already seen a spike by 6 in the same area. So either this was the same one, or he broke his spike off in the weeks between when I saw him, because now his spike was only about 6 inches long. And when I saw him the first time, it was about a foot long.
Oh, right.
So I think it was probably the same bull.
Just broke it off.
I think he broke it off.
Probably
but
stuck in another bowl.
Anyway, so I kind of looked at him, and I didn't really have a shot. He moved away, and then I hear the other one again, and he's only like 80 yards above me. But then he kind of circles these bushes, and I kept following. He's bugling. These are bugling. I get close, and all of a sudden he turns back around. I'm like, oh, he's coming back. I'm like, he's going to walk right there. So I really quick went up, got to where I thought I was about 50 to 60 yards. I'm getting my rangefinder out. My rangefinder that day started just glitching out. It would flash.
Was it foggy?
No, I think my battery was going dead.
Oh.
And so anyway, and it's not a very good rangefinder. I was having a hard time seeing the number. And plus, as I realized that day, my sight was off.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right. So there was one limb in front of him. At first he stopped behind these trees, and then he moves to the right a little bit, and I cow call, and he stops. I'm like, perfect. There's my vital shot. I shoot. I think I might have hit the limb in front of him, because every other shot I missed with that sight off went low. That one went above him.
Probably hit and deflected.
I think it deflected up. Well, I didn't see it go above him, but I found the arrow way up the hill, and I'm like, how'd it get up here? So it must have hit a limb. Anyway, that bull was like a 350 bull. I didn't really think that at first, but the guy that I met later, he's like, oh yeah, that's a big bull. And so I missed him. I stayed on him for like 2 hours. He kept bugling. I thought I'd hit him. And I'm like, well, he's still bugling. Maybe I didn't hit him, And so I followed that thing forever. And then I end up that same morning, I got up, I was going towards him, and another big bull comes in, and they're going to meet. Right. And so I'm like, okay, I'm kind of right between them. I'm sneaking up. And all of a sudden, the one from the right, the other bull, steps out in front of me. It's another like 340 bull.
Nice.
I shoot again, goes right under him. And I'm like, what's going on? And then 30 seconds later, a 5-point walks out. I'm like, well, I'm leaving today. Okay, I'll shoot it. It goes under him. And that's an easy shot. So anyway, we got to take a break. Don't go away. We'll be back.
And we're back. This is the M2 Archery Show. Find us on Facebook at M2 Archery Show.
Find us on Instagram at M2 Archery Show.
Or email us at m2archeryshow@gmail.com.
Check out our podcast anytime you want, from our website, from Facebook, or
Spotify, Apple, iTunes. Look for the M2 Archery Show.
That's right.
Give us leave a comment, give a review, and 5 stars.
So when we left, I missed 3 bulls in a row.
Yeah, and see,
so frustrating.
I was in the garage. I was actually home.
You were home, yeah.
I was in the garage doing some archery tinkering.
Yeah, so I got back to camp, and I'm like, that's it. I'm calling Marco, because I couldn't figure out like where my sight should be.
Right.
And my brother, when I called you, had took back off to our camp on the east side of the unit to go get our target.
The block target.
Because I'm like, I got a sight back back in because
I got the call and I'm like, hello, tech support. Can I help you? It's like, yeah, so my site is off somehow. Oh, do you still have the site with you? Are you currently looking at the site? Are you sure, my friend?
That's exactly what he sounded like.
We tech supported it.
Oh my word, yeah. And he looked up a video when we paper tuned it.
I did a screenshot.
And you sent me a picture of like, okay, there's where it was. So I pulled it back to that spot, and then I got back with the target. I'm like, okay, I'm back on, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm good. I literally had 4 shots Sunday night, Monday morning.
And that's the thing. On those black golds, you can actually pull the wheel off.
Oh, now I know.
And there's an Allen head underneath there.
Yeah, well, I put the Allen head in and tightened it way down.
If you tighten that down, you could unscrew that wheel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Want to leave it in there, I would put, if you're not going to remove it,
put Loctite.
Put some blue, not
red,
not red, and I would still mark it with a Sharpie.
Yeah, I'd still mark where your spot is. So in case, here's, I learned this all for you, so you can learn from my mistakes. Oh my word! So that was frustrating because I 4 bowls and. The first one was probably only like a 310 bowl, but I was ready to take something, The next 2 were like a 350 and a 340 bowl. And then the one at the end that walked in right after I missed. Well, now, so I got to tell you the rest of this story.
Well, let me stop you real quick. If you'd listened to the M2 Archery show, you would learn how to fix those little things.
That's right.
That happen.
Yeah. The way Marco says to do it. Well, so I had shot at the big one, right? And I pretty positive it went under him, and he walked off like he wasn't hit. And then this other smaller bull walks in, and I'm like, well, I need an elk.
Right.
And so I thought that one was an easy shot. And then I get up, well, before I knew I missed, right? And you know how it is when you're getting all this action, your adrenaline's raised, you're kind of like, so I shot pretty positive I missed. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to shoot that one. So I shot, and then in my mind, there's no way I missed that because he's top pin.
Right.
And so then I'm just below this another one of those roads, right? And they're on the other side of it. But I didn't even know it was there because you can't really tell, right? And so I walk up to the road to go check. I look to my right, and there's a dude standing there. Like 40 yards away. And he's like, did you hear all those elk? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I just shot a couple times. And he's like, what? I didn't even see. I go, man, I don't know how you didn't see my arrow go by.
Yeah, it's like it's stuck in his...
Like, because this is like a minute after I shot.
So when he turned around, it was like stuck in his shoulder blade.
He must have just walked around the corner, like right after I shot.
The best would have been if it was like, like in the tree next to him. Like, I don't know who's shooting down there. That's
so I'm like, I'm pretty sure I hit the last one, and I'm like, and then the cowboy was still bugling.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm going to just wait till I can go look for this one. And I said, you can go hunt that one. He goes, oh no, I'm not, I only have a deer tag. I'm here deer hunting. He goes, but that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Listening to all those bulls, And so, yeah, I had to walk away, and I'm like, okay, I'm going back to camp. I called my brother. I'm like, you got to go get the target.
Right.
I have to get this back sighted. And I just had, and I got one more evening and morning hunt. I don't remember specifically what happened that evening, but I know I got into elk because I never didn't get into elk. And so, but next morning, most epic hunt. I mean, I can't even explain it to you. It was like, think of the best elk hunting you can think of.
And multiply it by 6.
And bulls running around. But every single time on Tuesday, that was Monday morning, every single time I almost had an opportunity to shoot, something went wrong. Every single time. Well, and I don't have time to tell the whole Tuesday story before our next segment, but what I will tell you is me and my brother... my brother went to sleep. He was tired, but I listened to bulls bugle all night. And they were literally 100 yards behind our camp, all around us. They must have walked by the road by our camp. I'm hearing bulls all night, so we get up and he's like, well, they're starting to move off that way, which was kind of southwest. And he goes, you better start following them. It's almost light, So I was going to go down and get it with him, which I did. And I ended up doing, but he sent me a text I didn't see it because I was thick in the elk, right?
He was like, you shouldn't have left. There's elk right here.
After he pushed me out, he goes, yeah, about 20 minutes after light, he goes, a 7x7 walked right through our camp. And
see, and I
walked right past my target I just sighted in on. He goes, it was standing right there in front of the target.
And see, we've talked about this before. I hate moving in when I can't see my pins just for that reason.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I'll explain the rest, but we got to take a break.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Here's the M2 Archery Show. Find us on Facebook at M2 Archery Show.
Find us on Instagram at M2 Archery Show.
Email us at m2archeryshow@gmail.com.
Or check out our podcast anywhere you can find it. Or maybe nowhere.
Yeah, leave us a comment and leave us a 5-star review.
Do they do that?
I don't know. You can leave 5 stars.
Probably.
I've done it.
Probably.
Have I done it on ours?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know.
Should have left this.
I listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
It's hard though, because sometimes, like the last one, when you were doing your turkey gobble, I was just laughing.
Oh.
I'm like,
so if you don't know what I've been talking about this whole time, is my Winnahaw hunt, which I waited 24 years to get. And, my brother got it the year before, and he shot a bull on day 3 of being there. You know what he missed out on? All the experiences.
Oh, yeah.
All the calling, all the bugling, I literally had to have over 100 close encounters with elk. It was crazy every day. I mean, I had days where I had like 6 or 7.
And in Oregon, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was into elk. I had 2 days that I wasn't into elk.
Yeah.
But every day I was getting into elk.
Which is good. Especially for Western Oregon.
For Western Oregon.
Yeah.
And I was in an area that had a lot of pressure too.
Oh, really? There was a bunch of other hunters?
I was seeing hunters every day.
Yeah.
But not where I was at. Not where the elk were.
So I do want to continue the story of Tuesday. I mean, I got so many stories.
Of them.
But Tuesday, okay, after I got my bow sighted back in, right? Wake up, bulls are screaming everywhere.
Well, here's the thing. That bow was shooting dead on. We have the video to prove it. It was shooting broadheads at 100 yards like money.
Well, and the bear, he knew it shot well.
Yeah. He's like, something bit me.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was shooting good, and I couldn't hit nothing on Monday, right? So Tuesday I wake up, I'm like, okay, I'm back on. I'm confident. I stood out there. I went all the way back to like 80 yards, and I was hitting bullseyes, So I'm like, okay, I'm back. I'm good, I sneak off in the dark. I'm getting up where the bulls are screaming. What it ended up being was this ended up being the biggest bull I saw the whole time I was there. Huge herd bull.
Which is saying a lot, because I saw the videos of these bulls.
Some of them
are big.
Yeah, there's some big ones. This one was over 380, pretty sure. So he had a herd of about 30 cows and about 7 to 10 satellites just circling him. And that doesn't even include like the 7-point that just walked through camp, because he was farther back. And there was other ones off to the, like all over bugling around. But there was I think there was almost 10 of them right around the herd.
Oh, nice.
When I found him. So
Which can make it tough.
Oh, it does. And I'll explain why. So I start heading down towards him, and the wind's in my favor going down the road out of camp. But the minute and it's not even very steep, the minute I cross the ridge, there's just a little ridge and they're on the low side of the left of where I'm headed. Minute I go over the ridge, all of a sudden wind's blowing down the hill. And so I stand there for a while. I'm like, okay, I'm far enough away. It's not spooking him. I can hear him screaming everywhere. And then I can hear hoofs he's running. He's chasing bulls off is what's happening, right? He's running after bulls. They're chasing, they're doing the rut stuff, And so all of a sudden I get closer. I'm like, okay, it's getting close to light. I want to be right in there, use dark to conceal me to get in. And what I found, I didn't have to bugle much or call because they did it so much.
Right.
I'm like, I'm just going to
work for you.
I'm going to get the wind in my favor and just move in on them. And then they don't even know I'm here. And that's what most of the time, I think I maybe only jumped elk like twice. And that was usually when they surprised me.
Right.
Because they were coming to my call. Every other time I would just kind of keep sneaking in, and then they would just happen to move, and I kept trying to keep with them, So anyway, a cow or a bull barked at me, and I'm like, oh shoot, they got my wind. And it's almost like, I'm like, I need to get around them to the right and down below them. And so I did. I cut over, I went way right, started heading down, and I hit a road. I'm like, perfect. This is going right below them. I made a whole bunch of ground, down the hill, and then I cut left back in underneath them. And it was easy because I'm not losing them because they're screaming their heads off.
Right.
They're just, they're
being really vocal.
Oh, they're just screaming everywhere. So I'm like, I'm just using the sound, getting around them and coming back up. Right. So I start coming back up and I'm coming through these trees. I'm like, oh, they got to be close. I'm hearing them closer. I look up and I'm like, oh my word. There's a monster bull and he's rubbing a tree. And I'm about 110 yards. I ranged him there, but I had some cover, and he was up on this little hill, and I'm like, I could use cover to get to the base of that hill, and if I popped up, I'm going to be about 40, 50 yards from him. And so I start making my way that way, and I hear bugles everywhere. You know, it's just like crazy.
Right.
I'm getting behind trees. I'm starting to come up the hill. And next thing you know, I'm like, oh, that's antlers clashing over to my left.
But that's the video I saw.
No,
different video?
That was at night. There's two different bulls fighting the same day, but totally different places. So I'm coming up the hill. All of a sudden, those bulls start fighting to my left in a clearing over here. There's kind of a strip of trees. He's on the right side of it, and they're over there. Oh, it ticked him off. He went running over there, chased those bulls off. And then he goes up on the top of that little meadow, and he's up behind the cows, and that's the video I showed you. Okay, so I get to the edge of the trees there, but I can't go any farther because the cows got me.
Right.
They're watching down there, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to watch, see what... Well, he's chasing bulls up the hill over to this side. I'm like, come on, just chase one this way.
Right.
Because I ranged him. I'm at 87 yards. I'm like, I could make that shot if he wasn't running,
right,
and it was still and he didn't know I was there. Yep. But I'm like, if he chases a bull down the hill, I might have a 40-yard shot, you know. So I'm just waiting, and finally some of the bulls irritated him enough that he pushed the cows up to the right, and they just moved off. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta follow these things, you know. So I kept following him. I tried to cut the wind, switched a little, so I went down again. Then I come up on another bull. It was a 6x6 with about 12 cows. And I'm like, well, he's a nice bull, but it was like 70 yards and there was limbs. I'm like, I don't even got a shot. And they kind of moved around and they were kind of keeping by their herd because these bulls are picking off cows out of the big guy's herd.
Snagging whatever available.
Yeah. And so I finally start getting around and I'm coming up below them and I look up and there's two people there. I'm like, what? I haven't seen people the whole time I'm hunting, you know? And I'm like... Anyways, I'm like, well, I'll use it to my advantage. And I'm like, I'll go farther around them to the right. And now the wind was starting to change. By now it was like almost 9 or 10 and the thermals are changing. Right. So I'm like, I'm going to get above them and let those people chase them out to me. Right. And so that's what I did. I got off to the right. I didn't go too fast because there's bulls bugling right beside me right here. And I'm like, you know, and that's part of the problem, right? Because you're trying to keep the wind where it's coming to you, but so are the satellite.
Right, yep.
So are the satellite bulls. They're all trying to stay just under the herd and smell. And so I kept running into satellites, you know. And one time I did a cow call, and I heard a noise. I look around the tree. I'm like, oh, that's a bull I passed up a week ago, and he was 30 yards away, but I couldn't get a shot.
Right.
And so. Anyways, I circle and get all the way back. They made a big circle. I'm all the way back. I probably went 2 miles, and now I'm back on the road that my camp's on.
Nice.
But I'm on the other side of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to scoot down this road, get the wind in my favor. And I did. And this bull is just screaming his head off. I found out it was the big 6-point with the 12 cows. And anyway, I'm sneaking down to him. And all of a sudden, I will tell you what happened. This is crazy. This is crazy. When we come back.
And we're back. Here's the M2 Archery Show. Find us on Facebook at M2 Archery Show.
Find us on Instagram at M2 Archery Show.
Email us at m2archeryshow@gmail.com.
Or just find our podcast and listen to everything we got to say.
And leave us a comment.
Tell us what you think.
And a 5-star review.
Or 4.5 is fine too.
4 3/4.
Okay.
Yeah. Be honest. It's 5.
Okay.
It's
when we left, I had the wind in my favor. I had a bull screaming every 30 seconds. Actually, up on the road, I saw him. There was this little cat road that cut off, and I heard elk down there, so I kind of scooted down it, and I got in the trees, and they walked past me at like 60 yards, but there's limbs, and I'm like, oh, that's not really a shot, and they kind of went down in the timber, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to the road and keep the wind in my favor, and he just kept bugling, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to sneak through this timber, here I go, and I'm getting closer, I'm like, I'm probably under 80 yards now. I'm like, he's right through there. I can hear him. I can't see him. I get to about that distance. All of a sudden, boom! boom.
Oh, you heard the gun? Oh, yeah, I heard this one.
There's a gunshot, and I'm like, what? And then I remembered that I had met this guy, so he was a cool guy. He gave me and my brother a ride back to our camp. We'd cut through this canyon, come up the other side, and he gave us a ride, and we talked to him for like 2 hours, right? But this was like 2 weeks ago. Right. So, anyway, I'm like, oh, I bet it was because he's from the Indian tribe, and they can hunt with rifles, and they can hunt pretty much. They can kill more than one bull.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
Nice for them.
It's great for them, you know. So anyway, I walk down the road below me, walk up the road, and there's the bull laying dead. I mean, I like less than 80 yards away, I get to the bull dead, laying there, and I'm like, my heart's just sunk. This was and all the elk stopped bugling.
Right.
The gunshot, just everything stopped. All of a sudden, I beat him to the elk. All of a sudden, he comes out of the trees and he looks down and goes, Nat? And I'm like, oh. I'm like, hey, Damon. I was just like, my heart's dropped. Right. I'm just like, this was probably my last time. I thought I was going to get this bull.
Right.
I mean, I was close, you know, and he's like, oh, man, dude. He goes, I didn't think you were in here. He goes, I actually came back and checked your tent 2 days ago to see if you were in here. I go, yeah, we were hunting over at the East Camp, but we just came back last night, you know, or yesterday. And he's like, man, if I'd have known you were here, I wouldn't have hunted this spot, you know. And he goes, oh, I feel so bad. And he's offering me the bowl. He's like, you can take it. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm like, for one, that does nothing for me because I came here to get my own, you know. And for two, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Even if you are legally shot it, you know, you shot it with a rifle. And I'm like, no, can't do that. And he's like, oh, man, I feel so bad. And I go, yeah. And I kind of laid it on him there. I didn't really mean to, but then I realized later.
Bust out your violin.
Well, yeah, I was like, yeah, this was my last hunt. I'm leaving in about an hour. And he's like, what? He's like, no, you can't.
Thanks, man. You ruined Christmas.
He's like, you can't leave. I said, well, I rode over here with my sons and my brother's leaving today. He's got to be back for work. And I said, I'm riding with him. I go, he goes, well, you could stay and have someone pick you up. I go, yeah, actually, I probably could. I said, but I don't have a car. I'd be stuck on foot, you know, the whole time. And that'd be, he goes, well, and his girlfriend was with him, and he goes, we'll go back to town. We got to take the meat into town. And I helped him quarter it up, and we packed it out to the road and stuff. But he goes, we'll take the meat back to town. And he goes, I'm going to grab my girlfriend's truck, and you can have my truck the rest of the week.
Are we best friends?
Yeah. He just gave me like a 2022 Ford Lariat. You know, it was awesome. Right, I'm not a Ford guy, but it was really cool.
Yeah, when a guy's like, "Here, borrow my truck," so you can keep hunting.
And the truck was actually nice. I almost changed my mind about Ford.
Right,
really nice truck.
You know, the cool thing about Fords is the seats will recline and lay totally flat.
Oh yeah.
So when you're so when you're waiting for a tow truck, you can sleep.
I did kind of sleep in it one night because it was kind of cold. He's like, "Yeah, just stay in the truck." Anyway, so they left me the truck that night. I was by myself. Everybody, it's a little weird feeling, you know, no hunting partners. You do it all the time.
Yeah,
but
that's my whole season.
But I'm in an area I don't hardly know, you know, and I'm just up there. I don't have, you know, really have my own car or nothing. I'm just there to hunt. I walk down in the area past where he shot that bull, and I get two bulls bugling. They start converging on each other. I walk right down into them. So this has all happened the same day. I think I had one other thing too where I knew I forgot. So before I got in where Damon shot that bull, I was following the big herd, and I forgot to mention there was another big sounding bull, and he turned out to be big too. I showed you the picture. That was kind of staying way back from the herd. He wasn't up with all the other satellites, but he was a growler, and he was screaming like quite a bit, but he was like 300 yards back, and I was in between him and the herd, right? So I started following, when I was following the herd before I seen those two people, which were Damon and his girlfriend, I found out later, I heard that growl. I'm like, wow, he's close. And I'm kind of by this weird boulder field. It's almost like by Lava Lake, you know, those boulders around. Yeah. There's this spot where all these boulders were. And I was kind of up above it, and there was a little dip down into it. And I look over this berm, and I'm like, oh, he's right there. And he kind of looked up at me. So I just freeze. I'm holding my bow, kind of hiding my face behind my bow. And he's looking at me. And he finally looks away. One of the bulls are still screaming up above us, right? And he looks away, and I'm like, okay. I knelt down. And that was perfect because the berm was just tall enough I could see his antlers, but not his eyes. So I knew he couldn't see me anymore.
Right.
So I'm like, perfect. I can tell when he's going to come. And sure enough, in about 30 seconds to a minute, he turns his head and starts walking. I'm like, here he comes. I pull back to full draw. He's got to make about 5 more yards up, and I've got him at 20, 25 yards. And again, about a 350 bull. And I don't know what happened, if I swung a little to aim, but something caught my backpack. I swear it felt like the hand of God. I was like, God, you just not want me to get an elk?
Right.
Because it felt like someone just grabbed me and pulled me over.
Back.
And the next thing you know, I'm at full draw. You know how hard it is to hold that bow? And that bow has almost no valley because it's on performance mode.
Right.
And so, like, as soon as I started to tip, I lost my draw.
And let down. Right.
And he heard it, and he leaves. So anyway, and then I got into all that other stuff, right? But I mean, that was a huge bull.
Oh, yeah.
Almost got it. Then I almost got that other one. Damon shot it. Then that night I go down and those 2 bulls are fighting. I literally snuck all the way into about 45 yards. I ranged him. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the one on the left. He had this massive back whale's tail. I mean, it was like 2 feet wide, the whale's tail on the back. I'm like, I'm going to take the one on the left. I draw back. I put my pin on him, and all of a sudden the bull on the right just takes off and shoves him way out of my sight window.
You're like, dude, what are you doing?
I literally had my finger on the trigger, just getting ready to pull it. So that was it was probably some of the most epic hunting I've ever had, but it was also the most frustrating. Like every single time I almost got a shot, something went wrong. And then, not to mention my brother going, yeah, had you just stayed in camp,
right?
A 7-point just stood here right by the target.
Yeah, but man, just getting into them that much. I mean, how cool.
That was one day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you have as much action in one day as most people, as a lot of people will have all season.
Oh, yeah. And I had that, not that good every day, but at least half that every day. And I hunted over 20 days.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, so it's like I probably had 100 different close encounters with elk. You know, I learned a lot, although I'm like, I don't know how much of this I can take back to our area.
Yeah, because it's
not the same.
It's not the same.
No.
And I was getting into them every day.
Yeah.
But there's a couple times I got into them morning and evening.
Yeah.
But I would get into them at least once a day.
Right.
But not nonstop like that. And it was where I was at, it's really thick. And so you're not getting the visual as much. I think I had probably seven bulls I called in that were in shooting range.
Yeah.
But nothing like what you were seeing. And I hit it good this year.
Well, yeah. It sounded like you did. I'm pretty sure and I didn't mention this. And actually, on that day, I don't think I passed up any because I thought I was leaving that day. So I wasn't past. Now, on days before this and after this, I think I passed somewhere between 20 and 30 bulls, like 300 and lower class bulls.
Bulls that you normally would not pass.
Oh, yeah. Right. No, but and some of the times it's because I was chasing the herd bull and I'm like, oh, there's a bull, but I just kept going. I'm like, yeah, okay. The herd bull's right here, 100 yards in front of me. He might be only 50, but I don't even want to mess with him because he's, and sometimes I, just about pulled back, or I'd set my bow back down and grab my camera, but I found I'm not a very good cameraman, especially when I'm like, because I look back at the footage and I'm like, this is terrible.
This is horrible.
Yeah, but
my wife's convinced that the reason I was getting into him so much is because I was targeting a specific bull.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, that could have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because, you're looking for one specific, so you're hunting hard.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing when you're trying to get in the herd bulls, and in my area where there was satellites everywhere, I was always
bumping it, right?
Well, because I was doing the same thing the satellites were. I was trying to get downwind, and trying to follow them. Now there was a day later when my brother came, and we had the same thing. They were up on top, and we went down there. Well, this time the satellites were starting to pick cows off, and that herd bull did not like it, and he was just going down the hill, and I was trying to keep up. Seth was trying to keep up, but he was on the left. I was on the right side of him, but we couldn't see each other. It was a long ways away. Seth said he was watching them. The satellites kept coming in and just picking off cows, and he was getting mad. And so he just kept running down the hill. And I kept getting frustrated because I'm like, okay, where is he? Where is he? And I get within under 100 yards, and all of a sudden I'd take a breather. And then next time I hear him, I'm like, crud, he's like 300 yards again. And so I call my brother. I'm like, dude, I'm out of gas. I'm like, these things are just going down the hill. He goes, I'm almost to cut him off. I'm going to slow him down. Just keep going. And I'm literally just going, oh my word, I don't know if I can do this, And so I I don't know. I would have liked to have video of this. And in my mind, I look like an action hero, you know,
Of course, yeah.
heading down the hill. But I was running down these elk trails. I jumped over like logs. I'm sliding down this bank. I hit the bottom of my slide. I'm just right into a run. Yeah. I'm just like, and then I like
explosions behind you. You're not even looking back. You're
yeah, in my mind, it was amazing. I'm sure it looked pretty. It's kind of like those things, you know, in my mind, I look like this.
This is how I feel.
This is how I really look. Like. Yeah. But I was like cruising down the mountain. All of a sudden, I'm like, all right, he's there. I'm in the 100-yard range again. He bugled. I'm like, I'm right there again. And so I'm like, kind of start taking a breath. I'm like, okay, where is he? I'm like, crud. He's like 300 yards again. I'm like, forget it. I never caught him that day.
You quit.
Yeah, I finally was just like, yeah, I'm going back to camp.
I had a couple bulls that were bugling, and it was like right at that 7, quarter to 8. And it's like, okay, I can't get there, fast enough.
Yeah.
And that's hard when they're bugling, they're moving, and you're like, oh, you're just like, you just got to leave them.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to, yeah, maybe you can catch up to them, but then what's the point if it's like you're
no
pretty
energy.
sure you're not going to have a shot opportunity because of lighting, and you're just going to blow them out.
Although one night that, this was like the last week, and we haven't talked about this yet. We'll talk about it later, but I was coming up on this elk and they were bugling up on, we were in a clear cut. It was actually timber company in the area, and they were up on the hill above me. I couldn't see them, and they were bugling. It was almost dark, and I'm like, nah, I don't know if I want to go up there. And then I'm like, no, I'm going to. And so I just huffed it up this hill, and I come up over the rise. All of a sudden, here's all the cows. I'm like 70 yards from them. And then I'm like, oh, that's a huge bull. And it was that one I showed you the picture of. I think it was the same bull.
That one's a beast.
It's the same bull that I almost got when I got pulled over on my knees.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So anyway, he was with the herd then. So
that bull is a beast.
Oh, it was a big one. It wasn't as big as the herd bull that was with the 30 cows. That one, I've only seen 2 other bulls close to that one.
Really?
That one was like, it makes your jaw drop when you see it.
See, most of the bulls I was calling in did not have cows. So,
really? That's hard.
Yeah. And
no, maybe not.
I did split a herd one morning.
Yeah.
And he was a smaller bull, and he had 4 cows with him, and then a spike.
Yeah.
That I bumped the spike first. That's how I found him.
Oh.
But I actually split the herd, and I was probably 15 yards from that bull.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, most of the herds were pretty small and cows, although that big guy had 30. Now, 2 weeks prior, when my brother and I first came in there, we split the herd. And it was actually between 150 and 200.
That's crazy.
We never saw the bull. He cut up back. He turned around, and then he called him back, and a third of them came back to him, and the rest stayed on the canyon on the right. And so when we came back, there wasn't a 200 elk herd.
Right.
Because it got split up.
Oh, man.
But we gotta end.
Yeah, we're done.
Hey.
Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye. God bless.